Ladies and gentlemen, good afternoon and welcome. Today marks the second opportunity I have had as your mayor to address the business members of the Aurora Chamber of Commerce and provide a report on the state of Aurora. But before I begin my remarks, I'd like to begin with a few words of thanks. I appreciate the opportunity to be here at the Royal Venetian and ask that you all join me in thanking our hosts for their generous hospitality in this wonderful lunch. To the sponsors who have made today possible, thank you to Bell, Magna, Metroland Media, the Aurora, Jewel 88.5 FM, and TD. Thank you. I also want to say thank you to Stouffville Mayor Ian Lovett and Newmarket Mayor John Taylor for taking the time out of their schedules to attend today's luncheon. I truly appreciate it, guys. Thank you very much. And of course, I want to thank my council colleagues who have joined me here today. Councillor Sandra Humphreys, Councillor Rachel Gilliland, and Councillor John Gallo. Thank you very much for coming. And thank you to town staff, including our CAO, Doug Natarazzi, and Fire Chief Ian Lang for being here today as well. And finally, a special thank you to Executive Director of the Chamber, Sandra Ferry, Chamber Chair, Deborah Wilson, and all the Chamber staff who have worked so hard to plan today's event. Thank you very much. The annual State of the Town Address presents me the opportunity to share our successes from this past year and the priorities for the next. While reflecting on this past year and what we have achieved together, one constant theme has emerged: positive change. From the opening of the Canadian Food and Wine Institute in the newly renovated historic Aurora Armory to the first event of the York University Scholars Hub, from the approval of our new Economic Development Strategic Plan to the positive impacts of changes to development charges for major office developments, it has been an exciting year of positive change in Aurora. The question is, how do we ensure we get more of it? It's true, change is inevitable. But whether change represents an obstacle or an opportunity rests entirely in our hands. Our future, tomorrow, 5 years, 10 years, 20 years from now, is dependent on what we do now. So today, I'd like to focus not only where we are, but on where we are going. A better, positive future for Aurora. Now, George Bernard Shaw once said that progress is impossible without change. And I agree. You can't get anywhere by staying in the same place. I believe in affecting positive change, in taking purposeful action towards a desired outcome. In other words, getting things done right. Positive change isn't a given. It doesn't just happen. It takes hard work, it takes dedication, it takes collaboration, it takes resolve. But most of all, it takes a shared commitment by all of us, community, business, council members alike, to work together for a better future. And in just one short year, we've seen the results of that strong shared commitment. Our business community is growing. In 2019, we welcomed 73 new businesses, with the largest share comprising of small businesses, which accounts for 85% of the surveyed businesses in Aurora. In addition to this, there was a 3.4% employment growth in our town. And over the last decade, the town of Aurora has added over 8,300 jobs to its employment base. These results continue to trend positively and are reflective of the continued success of our local business. Recognizing the important role the Chamber plays in the economic development of our community, the town has a renewed focus on strengthening our relationship with the Chamber. We are working together on some exciting new initiatives, like bringing more events to the downtown core and supporting the very active and dedicated BIA, as well as the initiatives of the Economic Development Board. Now, 2019 saw the realization of a number of key economic development initiatives, paramount of which was the opening of the Canadian Food and Wine Institute at the newly renovated Aurora Armory. This extraordinary repurposing of one of our heritage buildings is an important milestone in the revitalization of the downtown core. And in November, we hosted the grand opening of the building, and it has been a huge success to date. Now, a number of you here today were at the grand opening, and I know you all feel the same way that I do about the Aurora Armory. The transformation of the building itself is absolutely incredible. It's a stunning combination of modern functionality and historic aesthetic. And our partnership with Niagara College and the Canadian Food and Wine Institute has already had a positive impact on our community. And through the CFWI, the space is being used for culinary classes, wine tasting, corporate team building, special events, lectures, and a host of other activities that offer endless opportunities for our residents and visitors. And if you haven't taken a class there yet, I encourage you to do so, because we are very fortunate to have world-class chefs on our doorstep and in our backyard. And anyone who's had brunch at the pop-up cafes or attended any of the catered events, they'll tell you, food is simply fantastic. Now, the Armory is just one of the exciting things that is bringing people to Aurora and our downtown. There are numerous of other important projects that will get underway in 2020, and in the summer of 2020, we are excited to welcome 2 brand new hotel developments, Holiday Inn Express and Suites and Microtel Inn and Suites. But the biggest and boldest project is Library Square. This project will transform the downtown core by adding a stunning multi-purpose facility and performance hall to 22 Church Street. It will also add a vibrant town square between the Church Street School and the Aurora Public Library. Now, this project also involves some exciting improvements to the library and will create a thriving arts and culture hub in the heart of downtown. Now, I'm pleased to report that just before the year end, Council unanimously approved the budget and the financing plans to issue the tender package for Library Square, bringing us one step closer to this incredible concept becoming a reality. Creating and promoting a consistent and unique vision for what our downtown core can be is critical to increasing the economic viability of downtown and marketing Aurora as a place where people want to work, live, and play. As you all know, a thriving downtown isn't just good news for the businesses in the core. It's good news for all businesses. Now, as I stated earlier, one of the key achievements of 2019 is the approval of the Economic Development Strategic Plan. Developed by the newly constituted Economic Development Board, this plan provides a roadmap for economic growth in the town with 4 specific goals to achieve. Goal number 1, targeting growth sectors and attracting new investment priority actions. Goal number 2, creating a competitive business climate that supports existing business. Goal number 3, establishing downtown Aurora as a destination and focal point for the community. And goal number 4, improving quality of life through heritage, arts, culture, tourism, and community engagement. Now, 2020 will see the important move to the implementation stage. And I assure you that this plan will be implemented, not join a lot of other plans that we see that end up on the shelf collecting dust. It has been specifically developed for action. And with this plan in place, we can diversify Aurora's economy and build a stronger economic future. Now, I believe that we need to leverage all the expertise available in our community and all the tools available to us as a municipality to effect positive change for our business community. That means working with the business and development community to ensure the town puts the optimal conditions in place to both attract new businesses and foster the success of existing businesses. Our residents want to work in the same community where they live, and I intend on making sure that Aurora is as desirable as possible for the business community to locate here and grow here. In 2019, we took a positive step forward when I brought forward a motion to council to exempt development charges for major office development. And I'm confident that this will be an effective tool for attracting corporate head offices to our town. 2020 will also see Aurora embark on a review of one of our community's most important planning documents, our official plan. The official plan is one of the town's primary resources for managing short-term and long-term growth and deciding what kind of future we want for our community. It's an important tool to manage change. I know official plans aren't exactly flashy or glamorous, but they're the foundation upon which community vision is built. It's the framework for creating what we want Aurora to be 5, 10, 15, 20 years from now. And this review of the plan couldn't come at a more important time in the evolution of our town. It will help set the stage for how, where residential growth will occur, and where our business will locate. It will lay out a framework that will promote and enhance complete, vibrant, and healthy communities, and will promote, protect, and enhance our heritage and green space. Now, staff have already been out in the community at town events and facilities asking for the public for their feedback and what they want to see and how Aurora will grow. And the official public engagement process has begun, and there will be numerous opportunities for residents and business community to get involved and have their say. Now, I've talked a lot about change today, and in particular, positive changes in Aurora. But not all change is positive. Certainly not when it comes to our environment. Climate change is having a negative impact on virtually every aspect of our lives. It is impacting us in ways we have yet to understand. And in fact, it may not even be us sitting here in this room who have to deal with the full impact of climate change. It will be our children and our children's children. And I don't think we want that to be our legacy. It's clear we need to take action, but what? What can we do as residents, as business owners, as a town to positively address climate change? The answer, unfortunately, isn't as simple as a motion or two to council. Just as our climate is a complex interaction of multiple environmental factors, the response to climate change will necessarily be similarly complex. Now, Aurora has taken positive steps over the past 2 decades to proactively address climate change. We joined the Climate Protection Program in the early 2000s and have taken direct steps to reducing greenhouse gas emissions through our corporate energy management plan, the building condition assessment and energy audit, and the town-wide green development guidelines. We've also recognized the importance of trees in managing climate change by implementing initiatives to increase our tree canopy, improve our tree biodiversity, and reduce the number of trees that can be cut down. Now, these are all good initiatives, and many of our neighboring municipalities have undertaken similarly good initiatives to combat change. But climate change doesn't end at municipal borders. To effect real change, we need to take an integrated, region-wide approach to finding solutions that work. And the Regional Climate Change Action Plan looks to do just that. This plan, to be presented to Regional Council soon, will outline both the mitigation and adaptation measures we as individual municipalities and a region can implement to address climate change in our communities. Now, I look forward to the presentation of that plan and getting to work and implementing it with my colleagues. As you can tell, there's plenty of activity in Aurora right now. It's an exciting time, and I'm very proud of all we have accomplished. But one of the things that I'm most proud of is the work that we've done and are continuing to do to keep the Magna headquarters here in town. Although calling Aurora home since 1997, Magna announced in 2015 that they would be leaving their existing headquarters and would build a new facility in a neighboring municipality. Now, after putting that decision on hold for several years, the company recently began their search for a new home once again. And since becoming mayor, I have made it a priority to work with CAO Don Walker and senior executives at Magna to ensure that they stay here in Aurora. Now, I've been a very vocal advocate for Aurora as the best place for them to stay and continue to grow their business. Magna has been a part of the fabric of Aurora for decades. They are one of the largest companies in Canada and employ more than 169,000 people in 338 manufacturing offices and 89 product development, engineering, and sales centers. And since joining our community more than 2 decades ago, they have been one of the biggest corporate headquarters to call Aurora home. Now, Magna has not only brought international recognition to our town, it has generated hundreds of important jobs for our community. Aurora offers a highly educated and skilled workforce, and having residents be able to work close to home for companies like Magna has always been a priority. And when Magna announced that they would be moving out of Aurora, it was a huge blow to our community. Aside from the economic impacts of Magna leaving, there are social impacts as well. Magna has been an incredible community partner, supporting many of our local charities through the Magna Hope. Now, this annual event has raised over $13 million of much-needed funds for hundreds of charities. And through its Magna in the Community Organization Neighborhood Network, Magna has shown a strong commitment to building a better community. And over the past decade, Neighborhood Network has promoted volunteering in our community, matching neighbors and volunteers to urgent community needs, such as shoveling walkways for seniors, planting trees, fall food drives, just to name a few things that we do. Magna has spent decades making Aurora a better place. Now, I'm very proud of the relationship that the town has developed with Magna, and I've been able to sit down with them to get a sense of what is needed to keep them in our town. It's important to me to make Aurora as attractive as possible for businesses to see our community as a place where they can build and grow and thrive. Now, I'm optimistic that companies will see Aurora the way I do, and will consider making an investment in their future by coming to or staying in Aurora. Our commitment to working with the business community is clear. It's clear there are a lot of big, bold, and exciting changes ahead for Aurora. Changes that will mean great things for our residents and our business community. Together, we're going to continue to get things done. Now, I know I said there was a big announcement. The big announcement is that there will be a big announcement in a couple of weeks. Unfortunately, things happen. I couldn't get it out today, but I can guarantee there will be a big announcement in a couple of weeks, and actually quite a few big announcements coming up this year. So stay tuned. It's very exciting. It's in a very exciting time for Aurora. Members of the Chamber and guests, thank you for your attendance and your support for the Aurora Chamber of Commerce in the town of Aurora. Thank you, everyone.
Question 2. As a business currently located on Yonge Street, the number of vacancies from Orchard Heights to Edward Street is startling and seems to be increasing. Why do you believe that businesses are not thriving on the Yonge Street corridor?
Well, I mean, it's no secret. I've always said that we haven't invested in our own community, and we're starting to do that. Through the Library Square project, through the Armory. Library Square is a $52 million project. We as a town are now investing in our own community, and that says a lot to the development community, to other businesses. If someone's looking to invest their hard-earned dollars into our community, and we're not willing to invest money into our community, well, they're not going to invest it. And so I think by taking this step that we're doing, with the developments that we're doing with Library Square, I've heard a lot from a lot of businesses and a lot from the development community. They're looking to come in now because they see us taking action and making decisions.
Thank you. That leads nicely into question number 3, which is the Library Square project development is very exciting, and it is based on receiving significant federal grants. Will this project be in jeopardy if the town does not receive the grants?
Absolutely not. The grants, I've always said, I said it at the table, I'll say it here, the grants are a bonus. If it happens, and we get it, it's great. We have the money. We have the hydro reserve funds. We sold a town asset. Those funds were earmarked for creating a town asset, and that's what we're doing. So as much as we would love to get the grants, and I'll keep pushing, and I know Doug's going to get upset with me saying that we have the money, because then the province and the feds might say, hey, we don't really need to give them the money, but I'm going to fight tooth and nail to make sure that we get that money as grants, but at the end of the day, the town has the assets to be able to develop this project, and it's the right time, the right place to develop this project for this town. It's only going to mean bigger and better things for our town through economic development and our business communities.
There's another part to this question, so can you provide some insight into the surtax that will be charged to fund the operating expenses of the Armory?
So the tax is a one-time 1%, and we've decided to split it up 0.5 this year, 0.5 next year. So that's what you're looking at. Instead of hitting all the residents with a major blow come when we open Library Square, we figured we would take it and be proactive about it and get it out of the way ahead of time.
What are the town's plans to keep business thriving on Wellington during the GO Train bypass project?
And I gotta say to everyone, I looked at the drawings, and I think everyone's going to get a chance to look at them come February 24th. We're having a public open house. There will be some impact to businesses and residents along Wellington. Absolutely. My job as mayor town staff, council, is going to be to work as hard as we can to make sure that we mitigate the amount of impacts that will be put onto our businesses, business community, our residents in the area. I mean, it's something, unfortunately, that is coming from the province. It's something that has to be done. It's great that we're going to be getting two-way, all-day, 15-minute service. But with that, there comes a price that we need to fix the fact that we need to have an underpass. Because I think that all of us, if you could imagine, 15-minute, all day, every day, GO trains coming in and out of Wellington, and those arms dropping down, you can imagine the traffic nightmare. And so it's something that, it's that old saying, right? Short-term pain for long-term pain, right? It's something we have to do, but I can guarantee you that council, we're going to have conversations, we're going to be working as hard as we can, working with Metrolinx, working with the province to make sure that those impacts that are felt by our business community are as minimal as possible. Because, I mean, unfortunately, there will be those impacts, but we're going to do our best to make sure that you're not as affected as much as possible.
Question 5, what is the one thing that the town could do to support new and existing businesses and make it easier to do business in Aurora?
Well, I mean, as I mentioned through my remarks, there's a lot of things through the Economic Development Board, the Chamber, the BIA, even through our town staff. Right now, currently, we're looking to hire our new position for our manager of policy planning and economic development. And I think once we get that person on board and working through the Economic Development Board, you're going to see some changes. There's been a bit of a culture change, I say, at the town. Everyone wants to roll up their sleeves and get things done. That's my model, but I think that's kind of translated throughout the organization, and everybody wants to do that, and everyone wants to see that. So I encourage every business. We don't just sit back and wait for you to come to us. The idea is for us to come out to you, to talk to you, to engage with you. We've had a stronger relationship with the Chamber, and that's because we meet on a regular basis. We have those conversations. We find out what those little issues are so we can deal with them ahead of time. And so if someone needs some help bringing their business into the town, we go out and we'll help you. If you need help sustaining your business or how do you keep it in town, we'll help you. We'll figure it out. We'll work together to get it done. And that's my advice. That's what we're doing. We're always working with our business community to make sure that we keep them here and that we bring them here.
Thank you. Question 6 was about Magna, and I think you answered that appropriately in your speech, that you're working hard to keep them here in town.
Absolutely. I from day one I took office, first call, I think second call. First call, it wasn't first call, the first thing I talked to my wife, obviously. First call I made was to Magna CEO Don Walker. Because I think we need to have a strong relationship with them. It's important. They do so much for our community. I can't say enough of what Magna does for our community. And so, as I said, it's a big blow if they were to leave. And so, I'm going to do whatever it takes to make sure that they stay here. And, hopefully I get it done.
Thank you. Thank you for answering the questions. That's the last one. Thank you. Thanks everyone for joining us today. I'd like to thank our sponsors once again, the Aurora, Bell Canada, Magna International, Metroland Media, The Banner, The Jewel 88.5, and TD. Thank you all for coming. Thank you, Mayor Maracus. Hope you enjoyed the rest of the afternoon.
Thank you, everyone.